Yeah.
So Joel is here with Providence Cultural Equity Initiative.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? You gonna take some pictures? What's your name?
Michael.
Michael. Michael's here too, who's gonna take some pictures of
Yeah.
us. What's up, Michael? All right, Joel, so you have this really great event. The Power Culture Pop-Up is going to be held at the Urban League Thursday and from 6 to 8. So tell us a little bit about the Equity Initiative and tell us about the event that you're holding, because it sounds like a bunch of groups are getting together holding this event.
Yeah, well, the Power Culture Pop-Up is a collaboration between several organizations representing organizations that are NGOs for the UN, Higher Ground International, the Providence Cultural Equity Initiative, which is the organization that is charged with creating the cultural sector in Providence, Rhode Island, and also LEAP, which is another organization that gives ex-offenders reintegration training through arts. So we're all working together, and of course the Urban League, and they have something called their Empowerment Awards. And basically we're all coming together to do what we do as one unit in a pop-up and enable commerce for artists and cultural practitioners in the Providence area to, make money, and also to build their names and increase value to, the cultural scene here.
So how did this whole thing get started? Because you really have a bunch of different groups coming together and really showcasing so much.
Well, it started as just a set of conversations between cultural practitioners in the Providence area who have their own projects, their own agendas, their own things going on, but we all understand that a rising tide raises all ships. And we try to make sure that if we're going to work, we work appropriately, responsibly. We build connections with the community. And as we started to speak, we understood that we had kind of the same goal in mind, which is to empower authentic folks that are doing work. For example, as Higher Ground International builds, they have an organization there that makes bow ties, and they've done an authentic African print.
Cool.
Also, you have Providence Cultural Equity Initiative, which enables cultural practitioners. They do exhibits with art. They bring up cultural practitioners' equity by displaying some of the cultural activities, like, for example, the Eastern Medicine Singers. So, there's just so many different things that we do in empowering folks to do what they do, that we thought we could all do that better in such a great space, which is the Urban League space. And they have a huge area that we're going to use as a gallery, and it really hadn't been utilized lately. So we're kind of working together with all the organizations, the stakeholders in the community, to create something beautiful that will benefit all.
It sounds fantastic. So you have this event that's happening. So you have, so people can buy stuff. People
Yes.
can see art that's happening. What else can people come? We're gonna have food.
Yeah.
You're having food
Yeah,
there.
we're gonna have
music.
food. Well, another thing to talk about is that as part of the event, PCEI is hosting another one of its cultural conversations. A cultural conversation is an opportunity for cultural practitioners, folks from specific communities that practice specific arts or crafts, to show what they do, speak about their culture, and also bring a taste of their culture to the event. So folks will also understand what the trajectory is of the cultural practitioner, understand how they're impacting the community, how supporting them can impact the community, and also taste what that culture is, feel what those textiles are, understand what that culture brings to the table, to understand the value that it has.
Do you think right now it's more important than ever to do this? There's been
Yes.
some really high tensions focused around different cultures. Do you think
Yes.
now it's more important to be able to understand and to reach out to different communities and to welcome all communities?
Most definitely. I think the biggest part of that is understanding that cultures have value, and every person has a culture, or all people have a background. They're tied to other folks that been doing things for a long time, a certain way.
Yeah.
And that is what culture is: how we dance, how we eat, how we speak, and how we do what we do.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that everybody's culture is appreciated. And that's what cultural equity is about. Coming together and appreciating yours, you appreciate mine, and let's work together and see how together we can make a better marketplace and a better place for all of us.
And there's so much going on here in Rhode Island. There are so many different people with so many different types of backgrounds that something like this seems like a real opportunity for people to get to know each other and to really break down boundaries.
Oh, I really believe so. And another thing about Rhode Island is because it's an area of such high diversity.
So true.
They're doing so many different things here where you got some of the highest concentrations of ethnic communities, for example, like the Dominican community or the Liberian communities or the Cambodian communities, which bring a lot to the table in terms of their culture, their cuisine, the way they do things, even their philosophy. So we just want to make sure that it's all there, and we bring it up and we give it a platform to make production through commerce. Because if there's not, an exchange of goods and a value through monetary, then, that's not the American dream. The American dream is about empowering all. So we want to support that, as always, with the Providence Cultural Equity Initiatives.
Do you think that we're missing opportunities on having these cultures? Do you think we're missing out on those opportunities on that island?
No, I think, yes. I think that in the past we may have missed out on a lot of the opportunities. But the difference is that today, organizations like, for example, the Rhode Island Foundation are supporting initiatives that have to do with culture.
Yeah.
And one of the things to understand is that the fastest sector of tourism in the country, but also here, is the cultural market. It's when people come to Providence, not necessarily to go stay at the biggest hotel, but they make their reservations through an Airbnb.
Yeah.
They come and they visit a Hmong temple, or they come and they eat at an authentic Dominican restaurant, or they eat some authentic Japanese sushi. And then they get back on their train ride or whatever it is, and they come right in and out of through town, and no one's been able to track that. What we've been doing is putting a number on that.
Cool.
Yeah, we're building that sector and helping for all to understand that we got to focus on culture because it's the future and it's how we're going to get into the next era of our commerce here in the state and also in the nation. So.
I like that. So being able to track it and move forward.
Yeah.
And how do you think we're doing so far?
I think that we've started, and I think that what the organizations are doing right now, as far as the Providence Cultural Equity Initiative, Higher Ground International, the LEAP, the Urban League, with these awards, they're helping to give value to folks that may not have been viewed as valuable because we didn't understand who they were.
Yeah.
So we're bringing a platform to connect folks that are interested in purchasing ideas, culture, and understanding of food, all these different things, that they're interested in experiencing that. We're going to connect the buyers with the folks that produce it. And through that, we'll understand each other better through our culture and our commerce. And I think we've been doing a great job as far as the Providence Cultural Equity Initiative and a lot of the folks in this city, because we're leading culture pretty much in the nation right now as far as the creative scene. And some of the cultures that we're showcasing and that we're working with, it's an opportunity for them to be viewed as valuable and contributing something to the overall table that we're all part of.
Okay, and I hate to say if you miss it on Thursday, but if you're working or if you're out of town or something, like what next? How can we get in touch with these organizations? Because like LEAP is so cool, you guys are so cool. Like what if you can't make it to the pop-up? Like what next?
If you can't make it to the pop-up, I would say go on to www.provcei.
I'll put a link on our website.
Yeah, .org, and check out the Providence Cultural Equity Initiative and what we're doing to lead the cultural sector, empower cultural practitioners, and develop commerce for underserved communities and also for all of the community based on the value of culture. So come check us out there. Check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Providence Cultural Equity Initiative, ProvCEI, or any one of us, Tapia101 at gmail.com. You can email me personally or check me out on my...
and I'll put a link to all this too. Yeah. Like, we'll get you a link.
We're going. It's just so much happening. I'm so excited
this is neat.
to be here and to talk to you about it, because it's a great thing that we actually have that dialogue, because a couple of years ago we didn't necessarily have that opportunity. So I think that Providence is doing a great job of leading that dialogue and that exchange between cultures and valuing culture. So and
making it happen within our community, and like you said, opening up the dialogue. That's and right. Now's a good time to do it.
That's right.
And making it relevant.
Thank you. Go local.
Joel, you're awesome. This was fun. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time. I love it.
Mike, you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
He's been filming this whole time back here. I love it.